Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Awesome. Welcome, you guys. Happy Wednesday. Happy June. Not gonna lie, I'm shocked that we are halfway through the new year. I feel like we just celebrated, but as you guys know, Tuan and I, we're excited to be here with everyone. And of course, we have special guest, Paul. We don't really see Paul anymore, barely talk to him. He's traveling, supporting, growing massive organizations. We joke around with Paul a lot that we're trying to beat him, but somehow he always continues to outwork and go crazy. So that's Tuan and I's mission is we want to beat Paul and his other line. So we're trying to catch up to him. And we're excited that he was able to make some time. It's early for him in Taiwan right now, so he's actually on the line as well. So encourage you guys. We literally have less than 100 spots open left, so definitely invite your team to get on the line. Our ultimate goal tonight is to really share with you guys the vision of what we all got to hear from the owner directly that really locked in our vision to run towards making sure that each and every one of us was a part of the journey of making OlyLIFE what it is, right? And what it continues to become, because we truly have in our whole heart that we are on a multi-billion-dollar run with this organization and this company because of what these products have been able to do to people. And I can tell you guys that in all my years in network marketing, I've been in network marketing for over 20 years. I've held every title that you can hold in network marketing. I was a brand new distributor, a top distributor, a master distributor, a corporate executive member, and then my last title was co-founder and CEO with Tuan. And I share with you guys this that the perspective that I'm coming from, it has been able to see all areas of how the industry works. And I'd like to say that I'm a pretty optimistic individual, but I'm also a realist. I can identify problems and they're not negative to me. I just know that when you have a problem, you just got to figure out the solution to it. And so when we were engaging into OlyLIFE, I will share with you guys that we had a lot of fear and reluctancy with this company. I don't know about you guys, but drop a one in the comment section that when you first looked at OlyLIFE and you kind of analyzed it, it made you kind of scratch your head a little bit and wonder, is this really legit? Is this really going to work? Some of the things that we're seeing are kind of questionable. And I can tell you guys that I want you guys to know that that is definitely something that Tuan and I had a lot of fear. And so one of the things that we were expressing to Paul, which is our sponsor and a really good friend, we've known Paul for 10 years. We were just nervous and we were reluctant to go all in and really build this business. So before we kind of get into it, I want to actually invite Paul to come on. And Paul, if you can just kind of share with everyone where, especially my mentality was at when you came to our house. Him and his wife, Brian, Lily, and Francis actually flew to Southern California. They're from Taiwan. Well, Brian and his wife, they were living in China. I don't know if they still live there now because they're moving all over the place for OlyLIFE. But they came down to Southern California to meet with us for 5 days. And I just want you guys to understand where both Tuan and I were at. More me, because I would say I was more negative than Tuan was. And I just want Paul to share that because I want you guys to understand that some of the fear, reluctancy that you may be feeling now or maybe felt in the beginning, we can understand and relate to it. And we just want you guys to hear where our mindset was at so that you guys can understand why we asked the questions that we did so that you can appreciate what the responses were and the execution of the owner and what we've been able to witness for this last year. So, Paul?
Okay, thank you, Ben. Yeah, so I still remember last year, I think it was around May, right? When we went to California, right? And then we were trying to share, trying to really explain what OlyLIFE is to Tuan and Ben. But Ben is being very real. So she's been telling us, okay, because the credit card processing is not good, so I'm not gonna build. The shipping, there could be a problem or it's not ready yet, fully ready yet. There's gonna be back orders, so I'm not gonna build. There's compliance problems, right? Do we have anybody overlooking the compliance part in the US? If no, then she's not gonna build. So there are a lot of things that she actually prepared us to talk to the company about it for the US market. So that's what I remembered when we first talked last May while we we're in California. And for Tuan, he's always been nice. Okay, I'll introduce you to some friends. I'll introduce you to some lawyers. And there was a MLM lawyer that we met, and there are things that he also gave us suggestions what OlyLIFE should be preparing before entering US. So it was great information because I believe me and Brian, we brought this information back to the company to really help them to get ready for the not just the US, but the whole Western market, because they were doing very well in Asia, but they are seeing a very big market or huge potential for the Western countries. So US was one of the most important country for the company. Yeah, so that's why I believe in the past year we've seen a lot of improvements and preparations for the US, and that's something that we are very certain that the company is dedicated to make sure that everything in US runs good. So, is there anything I'm missing, Van? Because I remember there's a lot of lists that you weren't prepared or weren't happy about with all
Yes.
that back then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll go through the list because I want you guys to know because I'm pretty sure that's many of your concerns.
Yeah.
Number one was the replicated website. I was like, there's no way this thing is gonna grow because we don't have replicated websites. That was the one that what Paul said. I was like, there's no way. And Paul knows, and you guys may experience this from me because I'm pretty upfront and straightforward.
Very straightforward.
I told him straight up, I'm not doing any customer service. I'm sorry, but when I ran my company, I had really good customer service and I never ever dealt with customer service because that's not my job, it's not my talent. If you really want to leverage what I'm good at, it's not customer service. So I was telling Paul, if we have crappy customer service, sorry, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and of course, compliance was a very big deal. And I say this all the time that I don't need something to be built for me to see the vision. I just need to see that it's possible, right? So I'm a very matter of fact realist, but an optimistic individual that can see things before it's ever built. And so when Paul came to our house and I told him straight up, I'm not going to do it. Tuan's going to do it.
Yes.
And Tuan's going to start. And if I get comfortable and these things get fulfilled, then you will see me go crazy. And I think Paul, at this point, he knows I keep my word
Mm.
because when everything finally got done, I said, that's it, I'm going all in. And ever since then, he's seen the very competitive red side of me that I'm sorry, guys, but when you see that side of me, I'm non-negotiable. There's nothing that could break my vision unless the owners make stupid decisions and I see that they're going in the wrong direction. That's the only way it will break my focus. Everything else to me is noise. Everything else is a distraction. I don't get caught up in drama. I don't get caught up in gossiping. I don't like any of that stuff. And if you guys know me, you get to know me, you know that I'm pretty straight to the point. I'm working towards a vision that the moment I establish and say, I see it, I feel it, I'm going to do it, I will work tirelessly until my fingers bleed to find solutions to every problem because Paul will validate that the moment I said I was going to do it, he knows I don't complain anymore about everything I complained about before. So I'm sharing that with you guys because now we're going to talk about if you want to go into it.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna take you through a journey. There's many of you guys were, involved in the very beginning, and many of you guys are very new, but we're gonna take you through like some of the details because I think it's very important because sometimes when you're looking at this business, you think like, okay, am I the only one that's thinking about this, or am I the only one that's concerned about this stuff? And what you're gonna notice that whoever your leadership is, right, they may look like they're 10 feet tall, bulletproof, and they may look like they're not concerned about it. Or you might bring something up to them and they might be like brushing it off, or it's not a big deal to them. And the reason why a lot of the leadership now, after a year in the business, they're so strong in terms of their faith in the company is because they've been able to actually see the company be able to fill their promises. And so we're going to take you through a journey, I guess, through storytelling about, a lot of things that we asked about and what got us to say we're all in, okay? And this is including, Paul and Beanie, and I would probably say even Brian and Lily, the master distributors. I believe that every single person that's on the Zoom, you're on a different journey, but I believe every person that joined had to cross through this journey of is it gonna work? Is it not gonna work? Is this gonna be a struggle, not a struggle? Like, I'll just say, is this a scam? Is this legitimate? Or is this a rug pull? Guys, Van may not been involved in crypto, but Paul and I, we were heavily involved in crypto. And in the beginning, when we got involved in crypto, it's like, oh, okay, this is great. This is new. This is a new technology. But then the jokers came, the bad actors came and they created rug pulls and they created scams and the playing field just wasn't safe anymore. And so for Paul and myself, we came into OlyLIFE in two different times, right? But both of us, at least I can relate with Paul because he's been involved in crypto, is that we had lots of different questions, And so for us, we have our notes that we're going to go through with you, our timelines of what, many of the questions that we asked, and we're going to go through it with you. So let's kind of fast forward really. Actually, before we fast forward, Paul, why don't you tell us your journey before any of us were in the business? Why don't you tell us like, when you first got involved in the company, you spoke with Brian and, some of the questions you asked and stuff like that before all of us here, your children existed about that, right?
You
Why don't
mean
you talk about
before the first time I
your
joined?
your
Or-
personal experience of getting involved in OlyLIFE? How about that?
Okay. Okay, no problem. So I first got introduced in August 2023. So that was the first year of this company, right? So and Francis, my sponsor, when he told me about it, I supported him, but I wasn't gonna build. And the main reason that I wasn't gonna build, there was actually three things. First, back then in 2023 August, credit card payment wasn't an option. So, from this industry for almost 20 years, I don't know how to build a business with a product, especially a product company with no credit card payment option. People are paying with USDT, paying with cash, or paying with wire transfer. To me, it's very outdated. That was the first reason that I didn't build. The second reason was that it was their first year, and the company didn't expect everything to grow so fast and so big. So even in Asia, even in Taiwan, if we order a product, we have to wait for 2 months. So I don't know how to build this business when the shipment takes 2 months to arrive, right? So that was the second reason that I didn't build. And the third reason was I think that this was the most important one because even though the technology is great, it was something very new to the market, something that we've never seen before. But back then the company only had one product, the P90, not the P90 Plus, but the actual P90. And we all understand the comp plan, right? There's no auto ship, there's no force of rebuy another product if you don't want. So my question back then was, then where is the passive income? Because it's a device. It's a device where people can use for years. And there's only one product. I cannot see myself earning passive income because of how this complaint was designed. And I remember, Francis told me, don't worry, like the company promised they will come out with new products every year because back then they own more than 400 patents. So, the passive income we will have the passive income because there will be new products every year and some people might want to buy the new products. So, and we've been in this industry for long enough to see that a lot of new startup companies, they promise a lot, but most of the companies, they never kept their promise, right? So that was my first introduction to OlyLIFE. So I didn't do anything, even though I joined. So I kind of waited. And it wasn't until 2024 September when Francis called me up and told me about the Galaxy G-One, right? So I was fascinated about this product because, you know, it's something that I really need. Since I'm in crypto, I'm always in front of a screen. So I use my eyes a lot. And I have this high eye tension or pressure. So after my first use, I was amazed by the results because so relaxing. It felt so comfortable. And then after 3 days, my floaters were gone, right? So that's when I got excited and went to Dubai and brought the G-One with me, trying to force Tuan on it, right? And and Tuan kept on getting other people to try, like Jason and all these other friends to try. So he was the last one who tried it on. And, you know, a lot of people, once they tried it on, they fell asleep. And that was when, because I'm seeing result in Dubai, that was when after I came back, I kind of another deep dive into OlyLife and seeing that, oh, in the past year, they came out with the P90 Plus. They came out with the Vitality Wand. They came out with the A9, the Bama Air, right? So there are more variety of products that came out in the past year alone, including the goggles. So that was when I'm certain that this company did keep their word and coming out with new devices, new inventions every year. And especially last year, we came out with the shaking massager and also the Skyline series of products. So that's when I decided to build in 2024, 1st of October. And that was also when I see the delivery problem was solved. That was in Asia. The shipping was fast, and they also had a credit card payment solution. So that was when I was ready to build. Yeah. So that's kind of how I got started.
Paul, great. By the way, you tightened up that story very, very good because lots of content. So basically from there, I think many of you guys know the story. So Paul ends up, basically following up, and then of course he basically said, "Hey, let's get on a Zoom with Ben and I," and then presented us information. We said no, and then from that point forward, he said, "Okay, uh, why don't why don't I hire you and Jason to basically help build the marketing material?" And Paul basically ended up hiring the agency to be able to actually build the Western materials. Most of you guys probably know that story. And then of course, from that moment forward, it was just like it was our, again, everybody here has their own story, okay? For us, I can only speak for Van and I. We started our research story from that moment. And from there, Paul was like saying, "Hey, you have to know a few people that you can introduce me to." And some of you guys were on those Zooms. We did 3, 4, 5 different Zooms, but both Van and I, we weren't excited about it.
No, no,
right?
no, not me. Not me. I won't take credit. I wasn't engaged.
Yeah. Van and I both weren't excited about it. We were just basically, as a friend to Paul, I said, "I'll just introduce you to some people." And we were thankful that there were people that were excited about it, but we were still in our own journey. So from there, let's just fast forward really quick here. Paul did mention, through that process, he did come out to the United States. We did introduce him to one of the top law firms here. We did introduce him to a few professional network marketers here. Why? Because we wanted to show him that the culture is different in the United States. You may have built a very successful business in Asia, no stereotyping, but culture is different. United States, and I know there's Canadians on here, so forgive me, I'm just speaking our own experience, okay? But we're just speaking in United States. We are a country that we believe in our rights. We believe in our, having choices. And we believe in free enterprise society. So there's a lot of different things that just because you guys blew up in Asia, that doesn't mean it's going to explode in United States, period, let alone Canada. So he said, okay, we're open to meet anybody that you want to introduce us to. And we went on a journey. Paul's funny because we literally drove the whole day meeting people, and I didn't even want to be in these meetings, okay? He was like, hey, let's meet with this person. Do you know this person? Yes. Is he here? Yes. Let's go meet with them. 3 hour drive later, I was pissed off. I was like, I didn't even want to do this drive. You're a jerk. But anyways, fast
Sounds
forward on the
like
story.
bitter.
I was kind of bitter, but anyways, fast forward on the story. As business was growing, we still weren't mentally engaged yet. Paul said, I we want, let's have you guys come out to China. Let's have you guys come out to China.
And before you get into that, guys, the reason why we wanted to host this specific call, because you guys know that we try to host these calls at least once a month and really give you guys a lot of relevant content because we're not always on calls or we're not able to jump on different calls or host them. I want you guys to understand that where we're at, we are literally at the point of breaking momentum in the organization for Ollie Nation. So before we get into all of the content that was shared inside of the room for the meeting, is that Ollie Nation, I don't even know yet, I didn't calculate, but we're probably at $30 million in total sales in 12 months. The organization is now grown to 21,000 members. This is insane. In 12 months, guys, it like for us, we don't take credit for a single one of that because it was a combination of each and every one of your guys' effort. And so you guys need to understand where we're going. That's just our number. Like imagine what Paul's number is. We don't know. We keep trying to tell him we're going to beat him, but the other line obviously is bigger because they've been around longer. But
What Van is saying, guys, let's just smash Asia, all right?
no, not Asia. Paul's other leg.
Okay, fine. I was thinking bigger, but all right, yeah, right. But yeah, let's start with Paul's other leg first, right?
We're under Paul, so well, how are we going to smash Asia?
Yeah, let's just crush it, and then like he's like, guys, I have to disappear because I have to build the other leg.
Um,
That's a good thing, probably, right?
Number one, that's where we're at, guys. But the second thing is the bigger.
You're muted.
Sorry.
Oh,
I
somebody
don't.
muted us.
Yeah.
They probably didn't want to hear me anymore. So the bigger we become, the more noise is being made in this industry, the more doubt is being created, being casted. And I will tell you guys that that comes with fear. We all wish and hope that everybody works from an abundant mentality, but the truth be told is not everybody is confident. Not everyone thinks from an abundant mindset. There's 8+ billion people that exist in this world. Us being OlyLIFE, Ollie Nation, we're not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of how many people exist in this world. But of course, when you hear the noise, when you see the rank advancement, when you see the income being produced, the miracle stories that are constantly being told to us or sent to us about what these products are doing, it's putting people in fear. And trust me when I say, we all have been at that point in our career. We've all feared something. And if there's one person that I can tell you that understands what's going on, is me. If you look up my name, guys, I have YouTube videos about me, and I will publicly declare this because when you make noise, they will cast doubt and hate because that's the only way they know how to build their business. Tuan and I were taught a long time ago from our mentor. He said that there's two ways to build the tallest building. Either tear down the one next to it or focus on your foundation and grow and not pay attention to anything else and make it the biggest, tallest building that you can think of, and you end up winning. And so where we're at right now is truly at a breaking point that our team as an entire organization is about to go into momentum. So of course you're going to have the doubters, the haters, the people that are going to cast doubt. And we want you guys to understand that the more doubt that's thrown at us, the higher your vision needs to become, the greater your focus needs to be. And we were always told that the moment we get to that point, your armor needs to become 1,000 times stronger. And how does that mean? How does that look like in the field? If every single one of us knew what the vision was, bought into the vision, and understood where we are going, the amount of doubts that can be thrown at OlyLIFE, it will not penetrate the organization. Because how can you deny the stories that are out there? How can you fight against an organization that the moment they say anything negative, immediately they shut off and say, I don't want to hear it because this is what I know, right? And so the point is, we want you guys to understand that this call is really to get you guys to get your armor ready, because we're just going to continue to make more noise. We are going to continue to create more attention, more focus, because you know for a fact you're not on this call because you think it might work. You know for a fact that either yourself or someone that you know had a positive, incredible experience on our products. And so you're trying to build your belief, your vision, and understand what Tuan and I, Paul, Beanie, and Brian and Lily got to hear inside of that room. So Tuan's going to go through the list of questions that we asked the owner, and both Tuan and Paul and I are going to answer and let you guys see that the way they've been scaling this company, I'm not even joking with you guys. We own companies, we ran our own company, and I don't really care what someone tells me, because you could talk all day long, but when your actions don't match your words, I already know you're a liar, right? I already can see the human behavior that you can say something but do something different. And I will tell you guys that in the last 12 months, just witnessing what the owner's been able to do and being able to put the owner hat on that we've sat in, he's not perfect by any means, but I can definitely tell you the way he's been scaling this company is unbelievable with the amount of volume that they're producing in the company. So the fact that they were able to scale as fast as they have, they're not perfect, but they are definitely scaling and improving. It is incredible because none of them expected the company to grow as big as it has.
So, we spent the first 20 minutes just sharing you the slowness of the story, because we want you to know that we ourselves had our own doubt. And some people handle it different. Some people light themselves on fire and they're excited, they just light themselves on fire. And many of you are like that and you're killing it. Congratulations. And then there's some people that are more analytical. I mean, I'm analytical, Van's analytical, Paul's analytical, and we take our time, and sometimes we are frozen until we get those answers. So for all personality types, we wanted you to know that we ourselves had our own slow start. But once you get it, you get it. And so this is our journey. That's all we're trying to say. So we come out to China, all right, and we get, we actually had a day to be able to relax and kind of just get our brain acclimated and stuff like that. Now on the day of going into this meeting, right? There's Van and myself. There is Paul's wife Beanie, and there is Brian, and then Lily. So there's 6 of us. And just so you guys know, like, we may look Chinese, but we don't ever go to China. And so we're like,
How's our first time in China?
so I just want you to know, okay? So all jokes aside, I was like, okay, do they even want us here? But that's another conversation, okay? So anyways, we're already walking in there kind of edgy already, okay? And we get inside, this meeting. They're like, hey, he's available at this time. We're like, okay. So we're like, I mean, to be honest, to be fair with you guys, here's what I was thinking in my head. There was a lot of people there. There was a group of people, whether it was from Taiwan or Hong Kong or whatever. There was about 100, 200 people there. And they were there at the showcase room and everything. But the founder wasn't walking around. The owner wasn't walking around. So I'm gonna be very transparent. I thought, what kind of guy is this when you got all these people here and he's not even out here? I mean, this guy, is he arrogant? I'm just being straightforward with you guys, okay? Because, if I was the owner, my ego, I would be like, hey, nice to see you guys. Nice to meet you guys. He wasn't there. And
By the way, I didn't think that because my personality would run away from crowds.
Hey, I'm thinking on the shadiest, possible things here, okay? Anyways, so basically Paul's like, guys, get coffee and everything. We're drinking our coffee. And then long story short, he says, all right, Mr. Wong's ready to meet you. So then he takes us through this door that's away from everybody. It's like this hidden door. Is it a hidden door? It's like a back door.
I don't know why you're painting like we're getting kidnapped.
But I'm just letting you know my experience because I'm skeptical. So we're going through this door, we're going through this long hallway, and then we sit down, and then finally we're sitting there waiting for Mr. Wong. I'm sitting there with Van. Van's really quiet. And I'm thinking that we're gonna see someone that is, super confident, super maybe like, macho or something. I'm just thinking of a CEO experience, okay? So long story short on this, he walks in and Van and I, we both looked at each other. We felt a sense of calmness. So right off the bat, we felt a sense of calmness, really chill, very grounded, okay? And his tone of voice, his demeanor, his body language, guys, we all know we've worked with people before. If you live more than 25 years old, maybe 30, you get a lot smarter, and 40, you become really smart at this point. You start knowing how to read people. And Van and I, we just felt that, very safe with this man, okay? Now, from the bat, we started asking him questions. And go ahead.
But before we did, I mean, this is the first thing we told the owner is that we weren't planning to come into this office and meet with him and tell him how to run his company. We just wanted to understand where was he coming from, what is his ultimate goal with OlyLIFE, and how can we add value to it? Because guys, I've seen this I think many of you guys, if you're a top earner, you've built large organizations, sometimes you have people come in and they just want to flex all the time about what they've been able to do and da da da. I call it the Al Bundy mentality, right? They live in their glory days and they want to make sure you understand their glory. Me and Tuan, we're Tuan and Van. I think if you guys get to know us, we don't really care about our background and we don't care where we come from. We just want to know, what is your vision? How can we add value to that vision? So in turn, we are able to truly build with comfort in this organization. So we wanted to establish that from day one, from the moment we met him, that we're not coming in to bulldoze him and tell him exactly how he needed to run his company.
Yeah, in fact, we asked questions. Instead of telling him what to do, the whole meeting was just simply asking questions and understanding his vision, management's vision, and how they operate. And that was pretty much it. So, ready?
Yeah.
So, one of the questions that we did ask was, just like Paul's concern in Taiwan was that there wasn't a proper payment processing system there. And in the United States, when we first looked at it, there wasn't really any credit card processing yet. I mean, it was barely beginning, and it just already like went live maybe a month or a month and a half ago. But the credit card processing was a nightmare. Some of you guys are like, Tuan, Van, it's still kind of a nightmare. Trust us. Trust. Okay?
It's better.
When I tell you it was a nightmare, it was like, guys, congratulations. There's enough volume that we are going to integrate payment processing for North America. And it's like, it was words, but no action, okay? It's like no result. So every single credit card that was ran was denied. Imagine that. Someone says they putting their information in, credit card was denied. Now, up to that point, some were going through. 15%, 20% was going through. And we asked him, what are we going to do with credit card processing? What was his answer, hon?
I don't know, Paul, what was it?
Oh, okay. So last year, May, when we came out with the new credit card processing, also when US just got started, it's like this pretty, in a way, I think it's pretty cool because OlyLIFE owns our own credit card processor, our own payment system. The company does have a license in Hong Kong, financial payment, some kind of license in Hong Kong. So right now the credit card processing is all in-house, meaning it's owned by OlyLIFE. So because it was so new and there's no credibility with this credit card processor, so I still remember it was really a nightmare. Not 15%, I think 10% went through, 90% got declined. So every day I was collecting credit cards and I sent it to the company so the company can really talk to the banking system in US because every country have their own banking system, right? So they have to go really talk to them to explain to them what they're doing, what are these payments for, proving them that they really deliver the products. So it took about a month to get most credit card through. So this is something that they still ongoing improvements for our own credit card processor.
Yep. And then, so, I love what Paul said. So bottom line with the credit card, they said that as we are bringing information to them, they're able to continue to work with the local banks and be able to build a reputation with the local banks. So that way they can get a higher approval rate. And we said, okay, that's a good enough answer, right? Then the second question that we asked was, shipping by then was already a nightmare. They just integrated the first warehouse, which was in California, and they integrated a second warehouse, which at the time we believe was New York, and then they ended up switching a new partner and into Miami or Florida. But the shipping was really bad, and it wasn't bad because there wasn't a warehouse. It was bad because we keep selling out whatever was in the warehouse.
And when I tell you guys, we were in that room bargaining for more product. Like we were like, how about you ship X amount more? And the owner was like, we're going to scale you guys based on how you're growing. And we were like, no, we're telling you momentum's coming. So that was one concern is how fast can you scale and stock the warehouse? Because one of my conditions for me to go all in with Paul was I need to know that the warehouse is full. I don't want to wait. I don't want people to wait.
And by the way, this is a trauma that we had, or a PTSD, whatever you want to call it, from another company, that there was so much volume from the team. Again, we're not taking credit, but the team of this other company that we were building, it blew it out so much that people were waiting, like literally it felt like 6 months for the products to come. And so we didn't want to have that same experience. And so let me just tighten up on this thing on the shipping. This was where it was an eye opener for us, is that he had the scaling concept. He said, we had a standard operating procedure, and we were actually really excited to hear this. And he said, well, basically, when the marketplace, a certain region does a few 100,000 in volume, we would actually start setting up a local warehouse. So instead of shipping from Hong Kong, whether from boat or whatever the case is, they would start shipping, or they would actually boat it to the warehouse and then be able to ship it from within, solving a lot of the problems with customs and stuff like that. And then afterwards, he said that through our standard operating procedure, once it hits $500,000 a month in sales, a month for 6 consecutive months, then they would actually start working the localization, the paperwork, the processing. And then once it hits $1 million a month in sales for a certain amount of months consecutively, then they would actually put a headquarters there. And I remember, just kind of like glancing at Paul, and I was just thinking to myself, I love hearing the fact that they actually have a process, a procedure, because in my own personal mind, I was thinking, you're shipping to 150, 160 countries, you're paying commissions out to 150, 160 countries. How are you able to put resources you can't possibly do to 150, 160 countries right off the bat? And so what they're looking for is volume. They're looking for some light, some sort of like, shining light that's happening in the marketplace. And if it's consistent enough, they will start moving down that process of what I just mentioned. And I think that was also a huge eye opener for Vanna as well.
So if you guys can't tell, what we're trying to share with you is the concerns that we had so far. 12 months later, the company has addressed almost every single one of them. So as you guys are hearing, because our goal is we want to transfer our belief to every single one of you guys that are on the line right now, so that you can understand why, if you ever have a phone call with us or if you ever work with us, the level of intensity probably feels like 1,000 degrees with us, is because our belief in what the owner has been able to do in the last 12 months has been incredible. So guys, by January, we were completely caught up on back orders. That's actually when I publicly announced on social media that I was a part of this company and have gone crazy since then. And I can tell you guys, that's all I want out of an owner, right? I don't care. I've been in this industry for so long. I believe everybody starts with great intentions. And if somebody ends up falling in love with money, you start to see their decision making is now supporting that. I just wanted to know that someone said something and they executed it. I don't care about the background. I really don't care as long as you're not like obviously like blatantly someone criminal, but I just didn't care what the optics was of an individual. What I cared about is when you say you're going to do something, are you going to do it? That's it. Because as adults, that's all we can be judged off of. Can't be judged off of our looks, can't be judged off of our clothes. The moment you say, I'm going to do this and you execute it, that's when I have trust with you.
Yeah, so speaking about that, right? Yes, we are definitely very, I mean, we're extremely confident because everything that he said he was gonna do, he literally did it. But during that process, one of the question was Mr. Wong's background. I mean, we said, okay, who are you? It's like we did some, back in the hotel, I did my little Google research, which they block you. You had to figure out how to get a VPN. That's another conversation. It's not like America. But anyways, I couldn't find anything on the guy, right? Paul had his own experience of doing his own research too. And Paul, I would love for you to share with us what you shared, yeah, what you shared with us when you were in your discovery of, this company was different and what Brian said to you, and then what we end up learning. I'll have Van explain what Mr. Wong shared with us of his background in that meeting. So, Paul, why don't you share with us what you learned?
So when I first started, these are the questions that I asked Brian, right? I remember asking him like, why is OlyLIFE so different? Usually we have this, and why doesn't OlyLIFE have this? Like, who is running this company? Who's the owner? What's his background, right? And then, so back then, the only thing I know is that there are four main owners. One is responsible, Dr. Yan. He is the responsible for the lab in Sweden. Okay, that's one of the main shareholders. There's another one called Mr. Wei. I forgot the name, but he is the only one with experience in this industry in China. And he was their responsible main job is to help to get the license in China for OlyLIFE. Okay, so that is the second one. The third one is called Jenny Ma, and she is the CEO for Malaysia OlyLIFE, and you probably can search her up. She's being published by Forbes or something. Jenny Ma. So she runs the Southeast Asia markets. And the last one, the main one, will be Mr. Wong. So what I know back then when I first started, all I know is that Mr. Wong has a background in investment banking. And from what Brian told me that like he is the main one, and he's responsible for all the countries, all the markets that's not localized. So basically that's who Brian is working with is Mr. Wong. And he is the reason behind OlyLIFE because of his back problem or spine problem. He first got introduced to PEMF when he was in Europe, and he found like this technology is so great. How come like most people haven't heard about it? So that's why they started OlyLIFE and started developing the P90. Remember why the product's called the P90? Because the company failed 89 times. It's the 90th time when they finally found the formula. So that's why the product's called the P90. So the company launched in 2022, December, but the company was actually established in 2019. It took them 3 years to prepare the P90, and that's in December 2022. That's when they really launched the company to start the MLM side. Yeah, so from when I first started, all I know is that Mr. Wong has a background in investment banking, and he's the main owner of this company. Back to you, Tuan.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and I hope you guys took notes because I know that's a common question. Again, our goal is to continue to educate everyone to build leadership in the field. As you're out there and you're building your business, you're able to share all of that and not feel like you're a deer in a headlight. And so, one thing that I will tell you guys, I was not used to it because I'm used to ownership that are very vocal, loud, published on the website, well-known, reputable. You can Google search them, whether it's good or bad. I mean, I'm going to say my name's questionable on the internet, guys. So I don't believe everything that's published on the internet, but I can tell you guys this. I didn't think that was going to work, that the owner was not public, but I've actually grown to appreciate the fact that the owner is not involved in the field. And here's why. If there's one thing that doesn't destroy teams faster, it's this: favoritism. I hate favoritism, and I absolutely am not. Paul will validate. You cannot kiss my butt. I don't give a crap. You can call me beautiful. You can say all these nice things about me. That will not get me to pay attention to you more. I actually operate off of fairness. Like if there's a guideline and a rule that I follow, I just follow that and I do not deter from it because of an individual. And here's why. Because the moment favoritism is felt, then competition happens amongst all of the leadership. And when that happens, we start to get catty and we fight each other. And so I've actually grown to love that the owner is not involved in the field. I grow to love that I don't want to talk to the owner actually because they get in our way, right? They don't know what we're doing in the field. They don't know what it's like to be a field distributor. They're going to give us suggestions and tell us what to do. And to be honest with you, I don't want that because I know how to run a business. I know what I'm doing. I just want to know, are the owners keeping their words, scaling the company, delivering the products, handling customer service, paying our commissions, and more importantly, protecting our business?
Yeah, and speaking of that, there was there was one thing that Mr. Wong did say to us that really stuck to my mind and Van's mind. And one of the things was we were talking about marketing, right? We were talking about marketing, like about compliance, which is another topic that we're going to talk about. But this is what he said to us. He said, guys, there's going to be three main things that we're going to be focusing on. And I just want to explain to you. He said the first thing that we're going to focus on is we're going to research and develop the best products that any person that is willing to buy. We're going to make sure that they're going to feel that when they buy it is the best product for what they're spending. Research and develop that. So I thought that's great, And of course, anyone that's owned a shaken massager, it's $1,000. Now, some of you might be like, "Oh, it's $1,000." To be honest with you, for $1,000, I mean, it's an awesome product because you're not paying that every single month. It's a quality product for $1,000. Could have been better. It's $1,000, so it does what it's supposed to do for $1,000. It's an incredible product. Second thing that he said was, if you order a product and you're expecting a delivery, we're gonna deliver it to you. Now, he didn't say it on time. I was like listening to him carefully. He said, at some point you're going to receive a product, okay? And I was like, okay, we're gonna give him some grace on that, okay? He's shipping to 160 countries. Give him some grace. So if you order a product, you're gonna get it delivered to you. The third thing he said is that if you are owed a commission, we're gonna pay you, and we're gonna pay you on time. And that makes sense. We asked him, why is there a seven business day delay when it comes to that? He said, because we want to make sure that we calculate it. We want to make sure it's correct and we don't mess anything up before we actually pay the commissions out. And then we actually brought up customer service. And of course, he said that we're constantly developing and we're training the customer service so that way they can respond in 24 hours. And that's the goal. Have they done it all the time? No. Is it a lot better than what we've experienced in the past? Yes. Is it better than other companies? Yes. And some of you have asked us like, hey, I actually messaged them and it's over 24 hours. It's been 30 hours. Well, they're in Singapore and then we are in the United States. So sometimes you got to give that grace as well. So guys, I want another thing that we talked about is raising the price. We were concerned.
Because of tariffs at the time.
So, hon, why don't you explain that really quick?
Yeah, so that we were actually walking in and there was a lot of shipping delays when we started building because there was products stuck on the boat sitting because they couldn't get in because of tariffs. Long story short, the owner said that they have solutions in place, that their ultimate goal is they want to keep the product affordable. They negotiated the tariffs. They weren't planning on increasing the cost of the product, Their goal is to keep it that way, but guys, it's unpredictable with everything that's going on, right? Their ultimate goal is they don't want to raise price. They want to keep it affordable. They're not trying to charge astronomical numbers for their devices because the owner's goal was to create incredible products that were affordable and convenient to bring home. And so when we talked to him, he said, we've already negotiated. Don't worry, the price is not going to increase. But we also have a solution that if the continual agenda of America is put America first, they actually own land in Jersey already, that they would be willing to open their own manufacturing facility in the USA to continue to keep the prices down. Guys, come on. How many owners? I can tell you that I know how it's like to run a company, that you want to keep your products affordable, but you can tell through a compensation plan in the charge of the product if an owner is being greedy. This owner is like, no worries. If this happens, I already got land. Guys, this guy's thinking 5 to 10 years ahead. And if you guys know my personality, you know that that's my rhythm. I don't like people that make panic decisions. I don't like people that react to bad decisions and just say, we'll just do this and fix it along the way. That kind of mentality puts me into anxiety attack because it's unpredictable. I need to know that the person that I am working with, that I'm sacrificing my energy, has 5 to 10 years already mapped out and they're simply just executing the plan. Because I need stability. I need consistency. Because if you give me anything else, I will go into a panic mode. I won't trust you. And guys, I'm a very fun person until I don't trust you anymore. And I'm probably the most intolerable individual you ever work with if I don't trust you anymore. So guys, full transparency of who I am. That's just how I am. If I don't trust you, you're not going to around me.
So Van brought up two key words that some of you guys have probably asked this question. She brought up compensation plan, and she actually brought up let me stick to that one really quick. We got into the topic of compensation, and one of the things that happened is, we looked at the comp plan and we know that this comp plan can pay you a lot of money. If you work hard, you dedicate yourself, you can make a lot of money. What happens when, how big is the United States for network marketing, hun? What's the stats on that?
US?
Yeah.
Well,
let's just
spending or recruiting?
Just for network marketing.
So network marketing, I mean, guys, worldwide network marketing generates $140 billion in sales. 37% of that comes out of the USA alone. 100 million people participate in network marketing. 20 to 30 million of that comes out of the US alone.
So again, guys, we have Canadians, we have Australians, we have New Zealanders. Okay, how can we not mention? We were just there because we are from the United States. We don't want to go to prison. Let me just tell you what, right off the bat, we were just thinking about us first for that moment. Okay, so forgive us. Okay, so we're like, okay, what's gonna happen if that percentage of United States that are looking for a home in network marketing starts getting absorbed into OlyLIFE? What's going to happen? And to be honest with you, are you going to change the comp plan? So why don't you guys talk about that?
Oh, the comp plan change? Guys, the owner straight out said at the time there was 5 million members, and he said no. He does not plan on changing the comp plan. He does not want to communicate to 5+ million members in his company.
He was laughing when he said that.
About a comp plan change.
I don't want to communicate.
And I will tell you guys this, obviously, never say never. You never know what could happen. But the way he said it, it's kind of like a tone where you can kind of tell that me and Paul are very similar in personality. That it's kind of funny how it works out. It's like when you come to Tuan, there's a bit of wiggle room with Tuan. You're like, you know what? I think I can negotiate with this guy. And then they go to Van or Paul. Damn it. That's a no.
Yeah, you're making me sound easy.
No, Paul says you're the nice one.
Okay, you gotta
exactly what he said.
I got some friends on here, okay?
Oh, the friends.
One. You gotta make sure you make it fun.
That's a compliment. So my point of what I'm saying is that the way he firmly said no, it was just kind of like I believe him. Because he just said it so confidently that no, I'm not going to change the comp plan. Why? Because we built this in the mindset of never wanting to change it. And so I want to briefly talk about this in the comp plan so you guys understand this, is that when you guys look at your paycheck, you see 20% goes over to the repurchase wallet. I've heard some noise in the field. Some of you guys don't like it. Some of you guys don't understand it. Some of you guys are wondering why it's like that. guys, because if you understand how Asia works, if you've ever built in Asia, Asia is the one that usually breaks all the comp plans. They will perfectly structure the tree before they execute it, and they will suck every dollar out of the comp plan. And if there was ways to break the comp plan, they will figure it out and do it. Guys, we witnessed this in multiple builds that we participated in. And so, because this company, some of you guys are not comfortable with this company being based out of Singapore, but I can tell you guys that everything that we've seen in the last 12 months, they executed so beautifully that how an owner that had no network marketing experience was able to cover all the areas that network marketing talks about, helping the masses make a little bit every single year, being able to attract the sellers, being able to attract the recruiters, being able to build a comp plan that is simple enough that people do not need to complicate it and they can actually make whatever income they're looking to make, as long as, disclaimer, you're willing to work, put in the dedication and all that stuff. It's not guaranteed. But if you're willing to do it, they did create a fair comp plan that doesn't punish people to produce. And so I want to explain to you the concept of the 20%, which when I left the room, I'm like, dang, that's so brilliant what he did. He created that intentional 20% breakage because this comp plan is very straightforward. It doesn't have all the gimmicks and you got to have these ranks underneath for you to maintain this, to get paid for that and do all. They don't do any of that. There's no auto ships. There's no rank requirement. There's no active status. And most importantly, our rank volume never flushes. But here's why it happened. He said that the reason why the 20% gets moved over is number one, to protect the compensation plan to never get changed. But the second thing is he understands that we all spend money, whether it's supplements, whether it's other devices, anything, we spend money. So instead of you spending your commissions, because he said his goal is to get everyone to be financially well in his company. He wants financial literacy for his distributors because he wants people to build a legacy, not continue to pay your commissions back to the company. And so he's going to create an ecosystem in every country that they have headquarters, that we know you're going to buy your supplements. We know you're going to buy other technology products. So why not let OlyLIFE's R&D lab develop all of that according to what is most necessary to each country? And instead of you spending your commission money to fund all of that, you use the repurchase wallet money that they're saving for you. So it's, in a nutshell, they created a savings account for you to continue to fund your lifestyle without it burdening your bank account. Because truly, when you see how this company wrote their comp plan, they really are not greedy. They are not trying to suck every dollar out of you. Oh, make money, but spend more money with us. Now, obviously, most of us probably own all the products, but guys, I voluntarily give them our money. Like, I'm happy giving them the money to get the devices because I love how the experiences are. But I just want you guys to know that when we talked about that, and I walked out of the room and I said, man, for somebody that has no network marketing experience, never built a network marketing company, this guy's got it down better than some of the owners and these freaking billion-dollar builders I've ever met in my life, that he thoroughly impressed Tuan and I when we walked out of that room. And so I just wanted to share that part of that because, guys, if there's something that I can tell you that you can walk away tonight understanding and why my belief, and you can tell my intensity, because if you met me when I'm not passionate, I sound lazy and I sound unengaged. I actually sound really negative when I'm not passionate about something. But when I get passionate, the conviction comes from the truth. And what is the truth? I know that today's society wants this type of comp plan. Why do I know that? Because I've attended conferences for owners only to listen to, and people are shaking in their boots right now because auto ships are dramatically declining every single month, every single year, because people do not like these comp plans that make it feel like produce or lose. Because it's only fair to think that we as distributors, how can we buy into this mindset believing, oh my gosh, I'm the one doing the marketing, I'm the one doing the recruiting, I'm the one doing the selling, but because I didn't hit the company quota, I'm being punished to not get my paycheck. That mindset doesn't even make sense anymore. And guys, people are starting to wake up and realize, no, I'm not a slave to your company. I'm producing the sales, I'm producing the volume, I'm producing the organization. You should pay me.
Amazing. So guys, we're by the way, we're gonna need another like 10 minutes, okay? Maybe 15, because I just want to make sure we're knocking it out. So then Let me see here. How many guys are actually getting a lot of out of this? Just drop a one or a comment below. Let us know so that way we understand the engagement here. Hun, do you think Paul should talk about the, how things are manufactured or how do you want to discuss this one?
Oh, Paul, if you can just kind of go into the concern we brought up about it, number one, being manufactured in China, and number two, knockoffs.
Perfect.
Okay. Yes. So, when when I first started, and you guys know Asia, right? China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Asia is all the same. If you go online, Shopee, Alibaba, maybe not, there's no Amazon here, but something similar, and you'll see a lot of knockoffs. Okay, so there's two parts. First is that you will see knockoffs that uses our picture. It will see a P90 or P90 Plus, and then it will have a cheaper price. And I do have friends who bought online, and then they thought they bought a P90, but when they received the product, it's a totally different design. Okay, so that was the first kind of knockoff. And second is, similar foot pad product, that says they have PMF, where none of them have PMF. All they have is terahertz, maybe some infrared. That's all we see. So in the past year, even when I started, the most question that I got asked was knockoffs. So this is something that we have to understand. The company owns the most important patents around our products are PEMF. Everything is around PEMF, right? So all the core components were made in Germany. All the core components, which will be PEMF related components, are made in Germany, and then it will be delivered to China for the final assemblies. So this is why people say, oh, if it's made in China, then there'll be a lot of knockoffs. And also there are people saying that, oh, we know the manufacturer, the factory that help manufacture OlyLIFE product. We are not sure who the manufacturer is. At least what I know is that the main components are made from Germany. It's not made in China. It's made from Germany, right? So, and as you can see in the past year, well, actually past 3 years, we see knockoffs around P90, but you've never seen knockoffs around G-One or shaking massager. It's been out for 6 months. With the manufacturing power in China, it's easy to come out with knockoffs. How come there's no knockoffs with G-One shaking massager and A9 or the Vitality Wand? Because it's all like we own all the patents and everything. So this is not affecting our business at all, even in Asia, Taiwan, China. And one of the main reasons is that we tell people, if you buy online, it's cheaper. However, you are not buying the actual product, the real product. And there could be people selling online because there are teams that tell people to buy 20 machines, 30 machines, or 100 machines, right? So you will see some real products that was sold online, but they will never have the 1-year warranty, right? So if they buy online, they won't have the 1-year warranty. And second, they miss out a big business opportunity because if they buy with OlyLIFE, they will be inside the binary structure, right? So and they don't have to buy another product again. There's no auto ship. So they don't have to buy online. They can just buy with us and they can, use our system to help them to make their money back and create a potential big business. So the knockoffs selling online never affected our business in Asia. But it's a question that we always get asked, but never got affected.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, Paul, you're spot on that. And, for us, like that is a question that people do bring up. And it happens in every network marketing company and it happens in every business. I mean, if you're into fashion, would you buy Louis Vuitton online through I don't know, Alibaba, or would you buy Louis Vuitton when you walk into the store? I think you would probably buy Louis Vuitton in the store. Would you buy Apple through Alibaba, an Apple iPhone, or would you buy it through the store? I'm pretty sure you buy it through the store. So, guys, it's pretty interesting, you know. Let's do this, guys. I want to just get right into we're almost done here. Compliance. So
Not fully, guys, stick around for the testimonials because these are gonna be fire.
yes. So with compliance, you guys, you know, as we walked out of that meeting, you know, one of the things we did ask Mr. Wong was like, okay, so if that's your scaling standard operating procedure, you know, on the way up to $1 million a month in sales for 6 consecutive months, you know, that's going to attract a lot of people building the business and selling. And you're going to attract the social media people, the people who are going out there and selling and just being on public. What's going to happen in that situation when people start making claims they're not supposed to, you know? And this was a big concern for us because, again, you know, we live in the United States, we don't want to go to prison, right? So, you know, one of the things that he did say was we are definitely, once we prepare the paperwork, we cannot prepare paperwork without hiring a prestigious law firm. And at the time, they were barely initiating the localization in terms of the paperwork. By December, we actually got notification that they hired the same law firm that represents Herbalife. They are now actually the law firm for OlyLIFE for North America. And what's incredible about this was we asked, you know, why Herbalife? He said, well, Herbalife actually has fought off more lawsuits and more issues than almost any other network marketing company because they've been around for a long time. So they basically wanted to actually bring them on board. And so again, just like what Van said, is that they said they were going to do something and they actually did it. And we definitely appreciated that. Anything else? And then I'm going to go through this now.
No.
Okay, so one more thing, guys, that we're going to show you guys, I think it's important, is that as we left that meeting, Paul got us connected with Kai and with basically a person that's basically overseeing the international markets, which includes Canada, Australia, New Zealand, all the markets that we all represent. And during that process, one of the things that we were concerned about is the safety of the products. You know, it's like, is it safe? Like, what if people, you know, are using this device and then like, you know, something bad happens to them, you know? And we were concerned do they have any proof of this, that the devices are safe? The other thing is like, as we started sharing this product to people going, is there real PEMF in here? And we're like, yeah. I mean, obviously there's amazing results. You know, did you get results? Yeah, help me with this, help with that. But still, people were concerned. Is there real PEMF? I know there's terahertz, but is there real terahertz too? So I was like, oh gosh, there's all these questions that we weren't concerned about, but then it came up. And we actually had them printed out. But to us, even I asked Paul, I said, Paul, what does all of this mean? You know what Paul's answer was to me? I don't really know. He's like, I just know that these are very important, but I don't know all the details to it. I'm like, shoot, man, what kind of upline is this? Anyways, so what?
Well, it's kind of like the best example is the way Tuan asks his questions. It's like, hey, do you think this girl is like someone I should marry? And Paul's answer is more like, I don't know, you just got to marry her and figure it out.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you. So basically, you guys know my favorite friend is ChatGPT. And I'm going to show you like as simple as this can be, okay? As simple as this can be so that you can figure it out yourself, okay? Because if Paul doesn't know the answer, okay? Let me just go ahead and do this, yeah. If Paul doesn't know the answer, how do we get the answer? So I'm going to show you guys. So we took this document. And look, there's dozens and dozens of documents. So I'm not going to do this all night or day with you guys. So I'm just going to show you a few. So we took this document and it's a P90 plus. So you can see right there, P90 plus. And this is what I prompted. Explain to me what is this document and why is it important? And this is what it says. I can't read you the whole thing, but I'm just going to be very simple with it. This document is an ECM verification certificate for the OlyLIFE Terahertz Therapy 90 Plus. And I'm going it. Why is it important? It shows the device was evaluated against safety standards for electrical safety, electromagnetic interference was evaluated, the manufacturer prepared technical files. Now, let me just go down really quick. The bottom line, the certificate is a positive document because it shows the manufacturer prepared compliance documentation. The product was reviewed against recognized European electrical safety and EMC standards. An independent certification body, ECM, reviewed the technical file. Okay. Now, again, guys, I don't have a whole lot of time, but let me show you the second document. So this is another document for P90 Plus. Again, I put, explain to me what is this document and why is it important? This is an IEC EE CB test certificate issued through the International CB scheme with testing and certification performed by Intertek. Guys, we started researching on Intertek, and Intertek is the third largest testing facility in the world. It's third party, not OlyLIFE. This is third party. And why is this so important? It's a sample of the product was tested and found to be in conformity with. This is very different from ECM certificate. So basically, you sent a sample of the product to get it tested. Okay. Now let me fast forward. It's an important why importers like this certificate. If you're importing products, selling online, working with distributors, working with payment processors, defending product safety claims, this is important. Okay. Hold on. Now, I took a third document. Again, guys, explain to me what is this document? Why is it important? This is FCC Supplier's Declaration of Conformity. Why is it important? When electronic devices are sold in the United States, they often need to comply with FCC regulations concerning electromagnetic emissions, interfering with Wi-Fi, radios, televisions, electronic equipment. Okay, let me just fast forward, you guys. Hold on. Wait. If you are, my overall assessment, if I were conducting a preliminary compliance review for a direct selling wellness company selling, I prompt this, directly to consumers, the three documents you've shown would generally be viewed as a reasonable, strong foundation because they collectively address electrical safety, FCC compliance, EMC compliance, international testing safety. Okay. I would not say that these documents will make the company bulletproof because you still need to protect the company with compliance, marketing claims, insurance, blah, blah, blah. But because of the Intertek CB certificate, it's the most significant document in the package because it indicates that an actual sample of the P90 Plus was tested against the recognized IEC safety standards. So we are safe to ship into the country. Paul, you want to say something?
Oh, no, please.
Okay. Okay, good. I'm doing okay, right?
You're doing great. Awesome. ChatGPT is your best mentor.
Watch this, okay? I'm going to show you guys something. This is a document on testing the terahertz. Hey, is this just making your feet hot? Is there any benefit? Is there real technology at all? So this is testing the terahertz. What is this document? Why is it important? This report shows that the P90, I had to just choose a document, was tested using a terahertz radiation detector, model 3643X, and an infrared radiation detector, JPS-5X. The testing measured the device radiation spectrum and wavelength distribution. Let me go to the bottom line. This report is valuable because it proves third-party evidence that the P90 emits measurable terahertz radiation within the tested wavelength ranges. Okay, so it, however, does not prove medical efficacy, safety certification, FDA approval, FCC. I already showed you that. Okay, this just shows that this proves that this device does produce terahertz. Now, third one, and I'm done on this. I'm not Chinese. I might look like Chinese, but I don't know how to read this. Okay. Translate this to English. What is this document? Why is it important? Translated. This document is a Chinese utility model patent certificate issued by the Chinese National Intellectual Property Administration. This is an actual utility patent. Okay. What is this? This is an official government issued patent certificate proving that CNIPA granted a utility model patent for a device described as, wait for it, a therapeutic device with PEMF. PEMF stands for pulse electromagnetic field. Why is this important? It proves, wait for it, the inventor claimed a PEMF based device. This is the strongest statement visible on the certificate itself. Basically, it does prove that it has some sort of PEMF, okay? This document is bottom line, is a real Chinese utility model patent certificate issued by CNIPA. It confirms that the patent holder owns a patented design for a therapeutic device with PEMF. It is meaningful evidence that the device incorporates PEMF technology and that intellectual property exists around the product. It doesn't prove the performance or effectiveness, but Van will explain to you why it doesn't prove the efficacy of the PEMF.
So there's not an actual industry-wide standard to prove PEMF, guys. That's just the truth. You can search that. There's not one accepted industry-wide testing mechanism. OlyLIFE 7 months ago told us they were working on it. And if this becomes the standard, this is a breakthrough, guys. So when I tell you that the reason why we spent almost an hour and a half with you guys tonight to really cast this vision is because we know that you guys are out in the field. You are taking the shots to your back. You are being questioned. You are being doubted. We want you guys to be empowered. But the last thing that I do want to tell you guys is that every time we do these calls, which maybe are once a month, maybe, I don't know. I don't even know. Tuan and I really don't have a consistent calendar of when we do calls with you guys. But I want you guys to know that every time we do calls, we want them to be of value and content. And so we hope this empowers your vision. But before you guys sign off, I need you guys to hear the newest stories that are happening in the organization that aside from all of this, you know, they didn't know any of this. They dialed into the call today too to hear it for the first time with you guys. That aside from all that noise, they went out there and they crushed it. And I want to introduce the first person, guys. I think I can say that I really enjoy working with him because I think his personality is very similar to mine. But guys, when I say that the odds are against this gentleman and how he has it against him to not build here, guys, get this. He can't even credit card process anything beyond what is in Russia. He doesn't live in Russia. He lives in Vietnam, but he's crushing it in the Russia market right now. They are not allowed to buy or process any credit cards beyond Russia because of the sanction and the war that's happening with Ukraine right now. But he came in, and guys, he's less than 2 months old in the business, and he's already done over $500,000 in PV, even though that is against him. So we wanted to actually bring Arthur on. If Arthur, you can come on, share your story, but also just kind of share some lessons and some suggestions to what people can go out and do and how you are crushing it in the business right now.
All right, perfect.
Where
Yeah,
is
thank you so much. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Tuan and Van. And yeah, welcome everybody on the call. My name is Arthur. Nice to meet you. I'm originally from Estonia, from Europe, but somehow, like Tuan said, he's not Chinese, even he looks like that. They are Vietnamese, but I live in Vietnam. So yeah, 4 years ago, I came to Vietnam for a business. So on my second day being in Vietnam, I found my wife. So today we are happily married, having 2 kids already, 2 sons. So yeah, hopefully a daughter is also on the way, but this is another story. So yes, guys, so I started this business actually quite, similar way, probably like most of you. So my background is actually I coming from the crypto, same like Tuan and also Paul. And when I saw my Instagram stories or Facebook stories, I suddenly saw that Tuan is promoting some devices, and I was really really surprised because I knew him as a crypto person, right? So yeah, I reached out to him. I asked him, "What is this?" He sent me some videos to watch. The system what we have here. Just send the 3 videos, and I was reading also the testimonials, and for me it was in crypto we call it the hype. So I thought that in product we have the same thing. It's a little bit like hyping up after the first time of use. You get these results, and I thought, come on, but I wanted, like you guys say, I wanted to support Tuan and Van. So, I mean, yeah, I bought the device P90 Plus, and I didn't have time actually. Guys, that I had guests here. I had my mother and my grandmother and my sister here in Vietnam to visit me. And I received the product on 13th of April, right? So it was a great day because it was my birthday, right? It was a surprise. And I had 2 days to test it out on my grandmother, my mother, and my sister because on 15 they left back to Europe, right? So the good thing is that my grandmother, she's a doctor. My mom, she works in oncology, and my sister, she's a nurse, right? And I'm a guy who getting into the health and wellness business, right? So yeah, so the first time I just got the device, I put my feet on it. I put on the level of 18. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I put on 18, and I felt like it's the same, the same story like Tuan and Van had in the beginning. I was like, what is this? It's hurting me, So my wife came to me. She put on a low level, so I use it on number 7, and it was, I mean. It was a very different feeling for me. I'd never experienced anything like this, and I'm saying it with full transparency because when you put the feet first time on this device, you get the heat. You start to sweating, and I was looking at my wife, and it was a strange feeling. So the next thing, I put my grandmother. So I was on this device. I feel it's safe. So now my grandmother's turn. So she's 76. So, and what I done, I made pictures of her legs before and after. Okay, because I saw how you guys are doing the testimonials. So she has also the what is the right word? The veins out of her, legs. How you call it, Van?
Varicose veins.
Yes, correct. Yes. So 20 minutes before and 20 minutes after. Maybe I can even share my screen. I need to find these pictures. And we were blown away, all of us, like my mom, my grandmother, my sister. So at that point, I understood that I need to jump on another call again with Tuan and Van to understand better, because I remember, guys, you remember when I sent you the message, that I'm blown away. I sent the pictures, and let me just share it because yes. So here it is, 20 minutes before, 20 minutes after. Guys, this was like, that the person just got like, I don't know, 30 years younger with her legs. Okay. So the next step, of course, 15th, my parents, they left. And on 18th of April, I started to build the business. So I started to bring in first people. And of course, to be honest with you, maybe I wanna touch this topic of network marketing itself. And for some of you, is the first company. For some of you, you have been in the business. Some of you are doing first time product before you done the crypto. But for me, if I sell this product to myself, if I believe in this business is gonna be very, very easy. Very easy. So as Van said, in less than 2 months, we have made over $500,000 in total turnover in PV, right? But it's not because of us. It's because of the product itself, right? It's because of what it gives to the people, right? So I was also reading the other day on our WhatsApp chat that some people are moving too fast and so fast, and we should kind of support the guys who are moving slowly. Absolutely true. But I think that this business is about moving fast. Success loves speed. Okay, so I will give you maybe some my points how I'm building the business and how much I'm sacrificing the first 90 days of my family. So I'm switched off from my family life. I'm switched off from my friends, from other calls. I'm just 100% on this business. And I mean, Tuan, Paul, and Van, maybe my days are at 4 a.m., at 5 a.m. I'm going to sleep because of the time differences between my teams. Some are in Russia, Russian-speaking countries, Europe, Latin America, and so on. So first of all, I want to ask you, what is your why? Why you are here, right? It's a common question what we are hearing from network marketing, but it's so important to understand why you are doing this, okay? First of all, of course, the product must work, right? We're helping people here to get better health, to support their health, right? But give me a 1-1-1 if you are here also to make money. Give me a 1-1-1 in the chat if you are here to make money. Amazing. So I see most of you guys, most of you are here to get a better life, not only with your health, but also with your financial status, right? So now is the second question. If you know your why, okay, what you are ready to do, to sacrifice, I'm gonna say to sacrifice for your success. Because I see a lot of people who want to have some success, but who are every day they have some excuses. Every day they have some excuses, and this must not be this way. So I really, not to maybe I'm too straightforward sometimes with my team, but I want to have strong players, like let's say 5 or 10 strong players who are close with me, who have the same goal, who work the same way as me. If I see it, I'm gonna put my focus on these people. I'm not putting my focus around, 6th level or 5th level, or people who are not 100% there with me. People who are not today on the Zoom call. People who are not coming on Zoom calls. People who are asking the same questions each and every time. Where can I find this? Where can I find this? Where can I find that? For this we have, not we, but for this Tuan and his team have created nothing I have seen before for their team. OlyNation.team. OlyNation.team. And why I'm saying this, guys, because this business, everything is built for you already. Everything is built for you already. I never been in such an easy start of a business as I am now. The support what I get from our greatest leaders, Paul, Tuan, and Van, who are 24 hours there for us. You just go to OlyNation.team, you have all the things there. You have the documentation, you have the videos, the 3 videos, what to do, how to start this business, right? How to start this business, guys. All what you need to do, follow the script. You have even a script how to speak with people. Everything is done for you. When I saw this, even though maybe I have more experience than some of you, doesn't matter. I still follow Tuan, Van, and Paul. Why I do this? Because I have not made millions here. They have in a very short time. And that shows what? That I don't need to create a new bicycle here I just need to follow the steps what Tuan and Van and Paul are telling me to do. And these steps are very easy. First of all, you start to speak with people, right? Second of all, you share the picture. Have you ever seen this device before? The third thing, you have in different languages the 3 videos. es.olynation.team, you're going to get these videos in Spanish. ru.olynation.team, you're going to get this in Russian. You know, eng.olynation.team, you're going to get this in English. And then you go to OlyNation library, you have there, I don't know how many different languages, you just choose them and you have it. You guys need to write down this page, olynation.team, because most of the people in the beginning, they are not doing it. They're not going through what olynation.team is actually giving them. Everything is there. You need to take a day off and just focus on this one, where you can find what? Make notes. Guys, I made notes today when I was sitting here. And this is so important. Okay, so also how my team is getting the success, okay? I'm not putting the spotlight on me, but you need to understand, you as a leader, this is a business, guys. It's not about only friendship or this. We came here to make the business. And my team understands, everybody understands what is my goal here. And I have top players right now who I work together from morning until the evening. What I'm doing every morning, take my phone to call my leaders, every leader. What was done yesterday? What is the plan for today? What is the plan for this week? How many people you gonna bring on board? Okay, you brought already 5 people. Have these 5 people achieved their tier bonuses? No. Why they have not achieved the tier bonus? So something is missing. You need to help now these 5 people. Forget about the new recruits, but help these 5 people to get their first tier bonus. How to get the first tier bonus? Easy. 1 left, 1 right. That's it. Duplicate. Now you help those 2. 1 left, 1 right. 1 left, 1 right. That's it, guys. This is the easiest business to build. We coming from crypto background, guys. We didn't get a physical product at home, right? We didn't get it. We had everything digital, right? Believing in the company and so on. But here you are getting a product which I'm 100% sure most of you have already the results. Most of you. And if you still haven't sold this idea to yourself, and if you're still doubting, then I'm going to take your people, myself. Because if you're going to sleep, guys, I'm telling you, if you're going to sleep, somebody else is bringing your people into this business. Someone else. And I have seen it because I connected with the greatest leader. She was actually my mentor in my first network marketing company. I connected with her from Sweden. And she said, Thomas already connected with me. And Thomas is from Europe, the biggest leader. And as you said, Van, you have a competition with Paul. I want to have also competition in a good way with European market, and in a good way also with you, Tuan and Van. I wanna have the biggest organization, and it's a good thing. It's not an ego, guys. It's a good competition to have here, right? And the biggest competition for you is yourself. How much do you believe in yourself to achieve your goals in the next 90 days? Now again, a question. What is your goal for the next 90 days? If you haven't done the homework to write down your goals for this week, for this month, for next month, for the 3rd month, where are you going? If you don't have a goal, where are you going in this business? Somebody wrote, you have a goal to achieve M2. How are you going to do it? How many people you're going to recruit? How many people you're going to help to achieve M1s? You need to write everything down and stop the way, I mean, I don't want to sound too harsh, but you know, I know that we as leaders, we need to give a hand to the people and pull them with us, right? Pull them with us, not walk with them. You need to pull them, or if you go behind them and push them up. Because people, I think that most of you don't even know how much you can achieve. What is the power inside you? Trust me. I have been there in the beginning of my network marketing career. And maybe my sports background, I was also a wrestler. Maybe this is, you know, my discipline. Maybe it's coming from there. But we all starting from zero. We all starting from zero. And I didn't start in network marketing with such an easy system like Tuan and his team has made for us. We have everything there. Can you imagine how many hours have Tuan and his team spent on the Oli Nation website? And doing it for what? For you to use. And if you're not using it, so why all this work for Tuan and his team, right? So now I want to get to the point where you guys said about the credit card payment, you had the issues and this and that and this and that. Van, I like the way you spoke. You know, many people are, I have a problem, I have a problem, I have a problem. There is no problems, guys. There are solutions. Write this down. There is no problems, there are solutions. How many problems I have today, especially with Russians, you can imagine. You have seen Russian mafia movies. You know, it's not easy with these guys sometimes, you know. But we don't have credit card payment in Russia. We don't have exchanges in Russia, crypto exchanges. Binance is closed. Bybit is freezing the USDT of people. Does it stop us? No, it does not, because we believe that this company will have a solution for this market. But before we have the solution for this market, we need to show that we are worth of this solution. Show to the company. Nobody is special here, guys. Nobody is special. As this is also what I like about this, you know, the company is not only, you know, pointing, okay, I'm gonna now only work with you, and no. You're not worth it. You're not worth yet. Just show first and then come and ask everything you need and want. So, I mean, this is so amazing opportunity, guys, for changing your life, changing people's life in health and finances. Really, in health and finances. You guys cannot imagine how much every one of you can start to make 10 grand a month. Each and every one of you. But you need to have a system to follow. And you have the system to follow. Send these 3 videos and that's it. Put one left, one right, that's it. So we're getting now the results also. I mean, why I'm speaking about the Russian market, because this is the fastest right now for me. I also have, you know, the other European countries. I have also Latin America. But the Russian market, even though no credit card payment, even though they only have right now 2 products in 1 month, 2 P90 Plus, which arrived in Russia. 2 products. So what the leaders is doing, Natalie or Max, or I have many of them. So they're taking this product, they're sitting on the train, they're driving 8 hours to another city. They are 3 days there. Then they take a plane, go to another city, using what? The bonuses from OlyLIFE to pay for the tickets. Not asking me money. Like usually in the crypto projects, it's always like this, you know. So I mean, you guys need to sacrifice a lot in your first 90 days. This is all what you need. First 90 days to create a system for yourself and for your team. And of course, if you are a workaholic like me or Tuan and Van, who are there for me when I sleep, you know, as Van said, we created already a system to find solutions, because if Russians need e-credits, if I'm sleeping, okay, then Tuan and Van, they are awake because we have the time difference and they are helping my team. You know, and how are the Russians paying for their products? For free. I'm joking. No, they are finding some people who are exchanging the crypto. Okay, there are some, but they need to bring them cash. Can you imagine? Like, they need to find people who exchange crypto. You cannot send to the bank, because bank will freeze this money and ask for why are you doing this? They don't have Visa or MasterCard. They're using their own banking system right now. You know? Yeah, but you say Poland in cash, but Polish people can also pay with their credit card, right? So there is, I mean, we know that the solution is coming, but the people are already making money, you know? And you guys, I don't know, probably many of you don't even understand how amazing is this diamond what we have today in our hands. You know, it's all up to you. It's all up to you where you want to go with this business, you know? And I want to go far. I want to go so far. I want to be the number one, you know? And also my team. And I'm so grateful for Tuan and Van and Paul for your support, guys, from the beginning, from day one. And I knew I need to show also that I am worth of your attention here. And all of you need to think the same way. If you want more attention maybe on yourself, you need to work more. And that's the truth. You need to put hard work in it to later enjoy your fruits. Maybe I need to add something more, but let me check. Yes. So yeah, we about the results also, let me just share some things. So the same people who have the 2 P90 Plus right now in Russia. Russia is huge, guys. We have right now people all over Russia. Nobody, okay, 2 people received the product. Nobody else have even received the product. No one. But from these 2 products, we are getting from different cities where my leaders are traveling, we are getting already the testimonials. Some got the feeling back on their feet. Some got help with Parkinson, okay? Like, I mean, not help, not curing, but no shaking anymore. His speech is much better. He was giving his testimonial on our Zoom call. And he was really like 3 days using this product, using P90 Plus, just legs on the device. He could speak. And he said he done 2 presentations today. You know, and if you hear these stories, not anymore reading the testimonials only of US people or European people who are not in my team, but if you're hearing the stories from your own people, this is mind-blowing. You know, I'm getting the goosebumps right now. I'm getting goosebumps every day because I wake up and I'm like, shit, is it real? Have we really found the business finally, which we can name it as a home run? And we have it. We have it, guys. So, I mean, I can speak here 3 or 4 hours, but I'm gonna leave with this. You know, I want to just give my emotions to you guys, what I feel with this business, because I am on fire each and every day. Right? So I'm loading myself each and every morning on P90 Plus. Sitting here, it's actually under my table. I'm doing the Zoom calls. I'm speaking with people. I'm creating the new list for today, who I'm gonna speak with, who I'm gonna call. And this is the fire what you guys need to have. How many people you have today? Like, be very honest in the chat. How many people you have on the list today? How many people you have, new people who you're gonna call today? Just put in the chat a number or put a 0. Just be honest. Nice. 50 people, probably you cannot do it in a day, but perfect. Great. Add more. Because tomorrow is coming for you guys. You are in US. Add more people. Sometimes I'm sleeping and my brain is working the same time. And then I wake up, I'm like, oh, I need to call this guy. So what I do, I take a pen, I write the name down, I go back to sleep. And then after 30 minutes of sleep, I think, oh shit, this guy also, I need to add this guy. In the morning, first thing what I'm doing is sending a message. So, guys, we need to bring this company as a whole to #1 wellness and #1 network marketing company in the world. And I know that we can all do it. And you know why? Because it's actually, if we're going to do it, it's going to make your business much easier if we are #1 or even in top 3. Can you imagine? Top 3 company, OlyLIFE, in the world. How easy it will be to sell this business for you. It's easy now, but it's going to be much more easier. So let's take this also as a team, as a goal to bring it in the next year or 2 to #1 spot. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you got the value. And thank you, Van. Thank you, Tuan. Thank you, Paul, for all the help, guys, you're giving to us. And yeah, the success is actually not from me, but the success is actually coming from you, because I never had this kind of uplines, this kind of sponsors in my entire 6 years of career in network marketing. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Arthur. We appreciate it. As you can tell, everyone loves you and your speech, and you laid it into them hard to motivate them that they all feel like they got to work harder. So we're excited. Thank you so much, Arthur. Guys, I just want to highlight a couple things. #1, if you go to sleep, Arthur's going to take all your people. And #2, guys, we all got to go towards #1. And I will say that absolutely he's on fire. And, you know, I want to highlight one other thing that he said was, it might sound harsh, but it is the truth. No one's special here. And he and Tuan and I, we feel the same, that we don't get any special treatment. We don't get an upper advantage. The owner doesn't do it. Paul doesn't do it. And he didn't tell his team they were going to get deals. He doesn't pay for anything. He literally tells his team, go to work, you know, make some noise, bring in sales, and then we'll pay attention to you. That's pretty much it, guys. No excuses. He doesn't have credit card processing. They're literally hustling in the boundary lines that they have, and they're not spoiled like us in the US. And so,
can I add very quickly one thing about this? If you're gonna go to sleep, I'm gonna take your people. So there were people who were asking me some deals in the beginning. You know, can we get the product to try it and this, and then I said no. I don't care how big leader you are. I don't care. I had a structure of 10,000 people, blah, blah. Okay, then you have the money to buy the product. I don't care how much you had. I don't care about the history, nothing. You are not more special than, let's say, a person who never been in network marketing. And what happened, the same leaders who said to me no, or who asked me some deals, I started to take their people. And now they are under their people because they got the fear of loss. Because I said to them, if you don't start, I'm going to take everybody. And this is what happened. And this is going to happen. If this is going to happen, same with you. If you're going to sleep, later on, I'm going to be with your people on the Zoom calls. And I say, time to wake up. Okay. Thank you so much, guys.
Awesome, Arthur. Kristen says she's never going to sleep again. Guys, we want to go ahead and bring up Layla. I know, guys, I know that we're over in time, but bear with us because again, this call was really to share with you guys the vision of where we're going because I feel like this is such a crucial time for everyone. But I want to go ahead and bring on Layla. Layla is an M4, as you guys know, in the organization, also a six-figure earner in the team. And we just wanted to highlight her because not only has she been having great success, but she's onboarded some new people into her team. And we wanted her to introduce them as well so that you guys can hear what they're focusing on and how they're keeping it so simple and running with the vision of OlyLIFE.
Awesome. Thank you, Van and Tuan. Hey, Arthur, I'm gonna find a couple more like you and I'm gonna compete with you too.
It's a
But
deal. Give me 5.
really quickly, you guys, you most of you may have heard my story. I got started last year. I, like Van, was not gonna do this. Super grateful to be here. Have never been involved with a company like OlyLIFE that has it all together like we do here. And I'm telling you the simplest thing that I've ever done. Get people on the device, share your story, ask for the order. Like, it's that simple. Chat GPT, the videos, all of that. We're keeping it super simple, but I'm gonna tell you, like what Arthur shared about following up and calling your people. This group that I just started in El Paso, I had called them back in September, and it's always timing and for me, this business, I don't care who you are, it is very simple and it doesn't matter. It's open for everyone. That I didn't wait, although I know their potential and what could have happened, and it was all timing. But I have a couple of ladies on, and they're just kicking butt and on fire on what's happening. So I'm gonna call on Annette first. Annette, she was one too that was not gonna build, and I'll let her share her story. But her mom got incredible results, and it's hard not to share. And she's gonna attest to that. So Annette, Safiri.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, Layla. Absolutely. I piggyback when you guys are saying that you said, I'm not going to do this. I went in, my good friend had been trying to get me to look at the information since April. And I did have a loss in my family and was extremely busy. So she did respect that, which I'm so grateful. However, it came to after everything, we were settling in, and she invited us to go and try the machine. So I was like, okay. So I took my mom. Thankfully, I don't have any ailments. I don't have anything to where I can say I need something like this. However, my mom does. My mom suffers from a curvature of the spine. She actually I took her to the doctor, and they wanted to burn the ending of some nerves, and which a procedure that I was just, I told her, I asked mom, are you sure? Are you in so much pain that you would need that because it's so risky? So we decided to wait. So I took her to my friend's store, and she tried it first. And mom went in there having a feeling in her lower back of like tired, kind of heaviness because of her back. And after having to, take care of my dad for so long before he passed, it really took a toll on her. So long story short, she got on to the P90 Plus. After she was done, we did the claw on her too. And she got up and she goes, I said, Mom, okay, so what did you feel? How did you like this? And she goes, the tiredness, that back feeling is gone. She goes, it's not there anymore. And this is somebody that had been going to therapy like 2 to 3 times a week. It charged you $30, $50, with your copay and everything. So, and she wasn't getting any kind of relief there. On the contrary, she would come out more sore. So, with that, I was like, okay, I got on it. Like I said, I can't tell you that I had an incredible testimony like her. But I did have that sensation of the warmth and the tingling and everything. But I see it as prevention. I don't want to get to a point where I'm going to have all these, issues back or anything else or the circulation or inflammation. I want to prevent. I'm somebody that's proactive. I don't react. I'm very much proactive. So, we go into the next day, 2 days after, and I did order the machine for mom. So she called me and she goes, I still don't have that tiredness. It's 2 days after 20-minute session, one time. And so she goes, okay, well, when's the machine coming? And I said, well, Mom, I'm not really sure, and she goes, okay, well, how are we going to do this? So I said, well, it's going to come here. And I think she didn't let me finish. She goes, I want one. I want my own. I was like, Mom, And I said, "Are you sure, Mom?" I even had to ask her, "Are you sure that you really felt a difference? Are you positive?" And she goes, "Yes. I mean, I couldn't even stand up, very straight for very long. I had to hold on to things, and I don't feel that right now." So I ordered it. I had shared it with one of my friends, my best friend, and he was listening to Mom's testimony and everything. And he's my roommate. And so I said, "Well, we're going to have the machine. You're going to get to use it." He's like, "No, I want my own." And so we're in the same house, okay? And he's like, "No, I want my own for my room." I was like, "Okay." All of a sudden, I had two people. And that's just my family, guys. But I have to tell you, the look that I saw, I even took a picture of Mom. When she finished her session, that was huge because Mom was, when she went in there, was, walking in kind of slouching down a little because of her spine. And that woman, I didn't even realize until a little later that she actually came out walking a little straighter. And that's just the God honest truth. So knowing that and seeing that in your mom, come on. That's that after everything that she's been through. I'm sorry. So I wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't gonna share anymore, but I'm sorry. I just can't help not sharing. It's just so many people, I mean, that are going through medications and all this spending of money on these therapies that, just kind of like really don't work sometimes, just make you more sore. How can you not, have something like this? I mean, it's just amazing. Again, she has her machine. She's been very consistent with it, loves it. Now she started mopping. She hadn't mopped in I don't know how long. She had somebody come and mop for her and help her at the house. Now she can stand up straighter, not completely straight, but she can do it, guys. So this is huge. Again, I'm loving this and I'm enjoying this journey and all the people that I'm working with. So thank you so much.
It's awesome, Annette. Thank you so much. And mind you, you heard Arthur say, right? She had two sales, her mom and her best friend. So she tier bonused. Not only once, a couple times already, or maybe 3 times. But thank you, Annette, for sharing. Last person I want to talk to have you hop on is Aurora. Aurora's a business owner out of El Paso. So she was the first one that I had called. Actually, I called a mutual friend of ours months ago, and I did say, if you don't make a move, I am gonna call Aurora. And Aurora's timing changed. She believes in multiple streams of income. I'll let her share her story, but incredible, hit M1 in the first week, probably on her way to M2. But and she honestly had no idea how to even log in her back office at the very, very beginning. Now she does with the help of her son.
Yes.
But I'm gonna turn sometimes to Aurora.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Layla. And thank you, Annette. I mean, it was wonderful because Annette trusted me. We've known each other for so long that she came to our tuxedo store office. If I could show you all a picture, it's crazy. But that's how much she loves and trusts me. Brought her mom. They had just lost her mom's husband and, of course, Annette's dad. And I wanted them to go there because of the stress, because I know they weren't sleeping. And we also had Tony. So I had 3 people in this little office trying it out. So it doesn't matter where you are. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. But my attitude really was the servitude attitude. I just wanted her to go in there. I wanted them to try to just get a little of the stress off. And God just created this great feeling for her mom. And that was huge. And for Tony. And, this has really been a blessing. I wasn't looking for anything else. As Layla said, we have different businesses here in El Paso. And I wasn't really want to get into another business. And seeing this, hearing, I said, I'll get it for myself and for my husband. Once we got on it, it just changed, and that whole idea again of the servitude attitude happened. And sharing with people that, look, it's from the electricity, it's the storms, it goes into the earth, it's the heart of the earth, it's in how it helps. God has always had that there for us. It's man who has stopped it, and you see that in the videos, and it's so true. We're reconnecting, and it's making a difference. And when people try to tell me this is too expensive, well, it's an investment in your health. There's a saying in Spanish, el barato sale caro, which means the cheap is going to cost you more money if you go the cheap route. this is an investment. It's really not that expensive once you add up how much the treatments really are. And when people tell me, well, let me think about it, I'll look at getting in. I said, look, I'm going to move on and I'm going to let you know now you're going to come back. But the longer you wait, the lower you go. And that's just how it is. There's no saving of anything here. And it's been wonderful. We have seen just a change in so many people. And I hit M1 and that was a blessing. I think it was, I don't know, Layla, 7 or 8 days. And that was between our son's graduation, his theater performances, his thesis presentation, parties. I've only been doing this, I think I just hit 4 weeks. But I have done another MLM years ago, and that's how I met Layla. That's how I met Van Antoine. That's how I met Annette. That's how I met RC, and it was because of RC. And it's really a family thing. And I think within a year, we hit over a 6-figure income or less than a year. The way this is going, there's, I really believe it's going to surpass, because this is the time frame. People are looking at wanting to get off the pharmaceutical medications. We want to go back to basics. And this is helping so many people. If you can help people with their stress, that's going to start helping eliminate other issues with what they have. And I could, go on and on. I'll spend 30 seconds. What did it do for me? It helped me, one, with my knee, but what it also did is I don't wear reading glasses. I'm 59. I've been, I have all kinds of pairs of reading glasses. No. And I noticed that a week ago, and that was 90 plus. I didn't even try my goggles yet. It's helping with, of course, sleep. I'm able to rest. I'm able to be just energized in the morning because I have that great REM sleep. And now I am just refocused. I'm 59, but I feel like mentally I am at 40. And with that being said, the energy level is incredible. And one thing I tell everybody, I've always done this when I do presentations. In Ecclesiastics, it states that we should have 7 to 8 different streams of income. And the Lord really put that in case 1 or 2 are affected, you have others going. This is an incredible opportunity. And I just want to thank you, Layla, for, being there. And Layla, I tease her all the time because I don't know how many of you have seen The Godfather, but Godfather 2, there is a line in there that Michael Corleone says, when you think you're out, they pull you back in. And that's exactly what happened. And I am so happy I listened, I called, and I'm happy I'm back in, and God is good. It truly is a blessing. And here we go, Mexico. Let's do it. So thank you.
Yeah. Yay! Pull you back in. Before I turn it to Van Antoine, I'm gonna give one tip. And Van Antoine told me this, and I've learned this from years and years and years ago. You guys, we build locally, but think globally and outside of your home market. And that's exactly what's happening here with this group out of El Paso. I'm super grateful. But Van Antoine, turn it back to you.
Thank you guys. Okay, I know we took up 2 hours of your day, and for everybody that stayed on, we really appreciate it. We hope you guys got a lot of value and understanding, and I hope this broadened your vision of where OlyLIFE is going and the level of commitment of each leader that is guiding the organization has in this vision. And so the last thing I want to say, guys, if you're not going to the June 26th, 27th event, I encourage you guys, do it. There's links in the comment section for you to register. 2 days. This is happening in the next several weeks. June 26, 27, Anaheim, California, 2 days worth of training. If you guys want to see more information from medical people, from network marketers to business sellers, social media, all the things that we're going to have there for the 2-day event, you need to come. It's happening on June 26th, 27th. Get yourself to Anaheim, California. And more importantly, you get to hang out with Paul and Beanie, because once you guys experience their energy, you'll understand why we have a lot of peace in our build, because it always starts at the top. And guys, at the top, it's very peaceful with them. So we want you guys to experience that. We want you guys to get educated. But more importantly, we want you guys to feel confident. So click the link that Matt is texting inside the comment section. Get yourself registered. Guys, it's going to be an incredible event. See you guys there. Thank you so much for spending the 2 hours with us. Thank you to all the speakers. We love you guys. We appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. And with that, guys, we will end the call, and it is recorded, so we will upload it. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you're dialing in from. Thank you, guys. Talk soon. Bye, everyone.